the FID last Wednesday, the Financial Investigations Division, FID, issued a media statement noting that there's no truth to a story circulating on social media that the division has ruled to charge Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness with breaches of the Proceeds of Crime Act and other corruption-related offences. In a statement this afternoon, the FID said the story is false. Well, I guess it's last afternoon. False, baseless, and malicious. The FID said it had issued no such ruling, announcement, or statement.
As a law enforcement agency within the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service, the FID says it operates strictly within the laws of Jamaica. It said all investigations are conducted in keeping with established protocols. As part of the plot, there was an attempt to hack the phone of the Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigations Division, FID, Dennis Chung, in an effort to lend credibility to that piece of misinformation. And Mr. Chung joins us now. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. When did you realize that there was an attempt to hack your phone?
Yeah, well, let me just first say that the reason I'm coming on is because I consulted with my team and they said it's something we need to talk about to let the public know.
Yes.
So I was actually away. I just came back 2 nights ago. I was actually away for the election. But at about 2:30 Jamaica time, I was sitting with 2 of my colleagues from the FID, and we were having something to eat for dinner because we were in the UK at the time at the Crime Symposium. Mm-hmm. And I got a message from someone well-known, her phone well-known. I suspect it was hacked. And the person said to me that I should ask me if I can vote for them to be an ambassador. One of these sites and things. I said, yes, send me the link. No problem for it. And then the person comes back and says, well, it's not really a link. I'm going to send you a SMS message with 6 digits and you send it back to me. Now that immediately raised my suspicion, especially when I spoke to the persons who were with me, who is a lawyer and a senior investigator. And because we found it very suspicious. So when the link came in, it came from with some Chinese on it and then 6 digits, and immediately they said to me, well, that's an attempt to clone your phone. So don't respond. When I didn't respond, that person kept sending me messages. Why are you not sending me back this thing? Within the space of like 2 minutes, I got about 3 or 4 messages asking me why I can't send it back. And a phone call also. Now, sometimes when they call, that also assists with the hacking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't answer. But I said, don't answer. And then 5 minutes after that, someone else sent me something to say that, and I don't know if this phone was hacked also, that there's a meme going around about the fact that the FID has charged the Prime Minister. Is there any credibility to it? Obviously, I didn't respond again because anything I said, could have been turned around. So there was no response. Within about half hour after that, I then did, and this is like about by 3 o'clock. So the polls will close about 5 o'clock.
Yes.
We said, someone sent me something with the post, the fake post that we commented on to say that the FID had charged the Prime Minister. So immediately we spoke with the head of the police unit at the FID in Jamaica. And he said, listen, ignore all of that. And I spoke with our principal director for investigation and the PR person. I said, we need to issue a statement right now. Say that we have nothing to do with this. And that is false. So it's just to show the lengths that people will go to, and we have nothing to say, and I would never say that it's linked to the opposition party, and I'm very clear about that. But obviously there's someone who had an intention to get me involved, add some credibility to do it. That's the feeling of the team, based on the sequence of events. Because if they had taken over my phone, then easily they would have sent a message from it, purporting to be me, to say that, this is true. So that was what happened. It's very unfortunate that people go to that length to do something like that. And the reason why we came up with it quickly,
yes,
is because we know that based on the timing, we thought it was important to come up with it before the close of the polls. So that people would see that was the situation. But we're just sitting down having dinner, and this thing came up. Obviously, it was a last-ditch effort for someone to try and sully the name of the FID, myself also. That's what happened. We're happy that we're able to see it immediately, deal with it. I mean, if it was a little later, if I was in another place where, we're more hours ahead, then obviously we might have been sleeping at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good that, that it happened like that.
And then,
before that.
And Dennis, have you been able to identify where this all started? Who might have been behind the attempted hack into your phone?
Well, it's with the police in our unit, and they're looking at it. Mm-hmm. So we don't have any evidence. One of the things that we are very careful of, FID, is that one of our values, if you look at our size, is what we call empathy. And it says, we respect the constitutional rights of everyone. So even if we have an indication that this person might be involved, we never come out with anything until we're certain. Mm-hmm. Because we expect that the constitutional rights of a person must be preserved. And of course, one of that constitutional rights is that people must be given the benefit of the doubt. There always must be the assumption of innocence until guilt is proven.
Question though, Dennis, is this your personal phone or your CUG?
It's my personal phone.
It's your personal
CUG,
phone.
I'm very careful with. I mean, there's basically people in the office that have it, or people that we have to deal with.
So it would look very credible and believable. What precautions now have you taken after experiencing that last week?
Well, the only precautions you can take really, is to be very wary of messages when they come in. So, for me, I never, I tell people otherwise, if you receive something to click on a link, you always confirm with the person first. Mm-hmm. If you receive something like what I received, to send back numbers, which is well-known way of hacking people's number, you always ignore that. Call the person first. That's the thing that you need to do. Because in this day and age, you really can't prevent someone from accessing. And it's ironic that we're actually at a crime symposium, where a lot of those things are discussed also. But you really just have to be vigilant. I'll give you another one. I mean, in the first week or 2 weeks that I was at the FID, there were people attempted to get into my credit card and do some transactions. So one of the things I always do is that whenever the transaction happens, the bank sends me an SMS message. If I don't recognize it and I look at all of them, one of the mistakes people make is that they ignore it. So I was immediately able to call the bank and say, listen, this is not my transaction. So everything was reversed. But it's funny how that had happened also, because it was my credit card first. When I shut it down immediately, then a debit card I had that I hadn't used in like a year, was sitting in my wallet. As soon as I used it, a few days after, then that also was compromised. And immediately I was able to shut that down. So it seemed to me that, it's someone who would have had access, for example, to to my information somehow, whether electronically intercepted or something. But you have to be very careful because a lot of these incidents are happening out there. So it means that people individually have to be vigilant. Whenever you see a message coming in, don't click on a link. And if it is usually suspicious, if it feels suspicious, normally there's something wrong. So you have to check it out.
Good advice on which to end this conversation, Dennis. Very happy that your phone wasn't hacked. Because I can imagine what they would have done if they had gotten into your personal cell phone. But thank you so much for coming on this morning and providing us with some more information about what happened last week with that situation.
Yeah, man, no problem.
All right. Dennis Chung, the Chief Technical Director at the Financial Investigations Division. Going to take a break for Across Jamaica.